For a GoRUFFLY Pilgrimage, we are touring from Seattle down to Los Angeles over about a 3-week period. Now, what luggage am I riding with? On Jess's bike, she has the K9 Moto Cockpit. It's carrying some of the gift bag stuff from our sponsors that we get to give to these activities that we visit along the way. Dock diving, puppy yoga, you name it. I'm still carrying the camping gear like I've always done. I've also got the overflow of all of this wonderful sponsored gear that we're giving out. So I've got a pair of Tillamook's here. These are each in the 50-liter range. They have a fair degree of sort of expansion ability based on how you roll them up. I've got them pretty well expanded and still able to get the 2 to 3 rolls in. Totally waterproof, fully like built out for strapping things down. I love that. I can hang things and have hang things. It looks, you know, like a clown car, but it's useful when you're packing out from a campsite. This is phenomenal. At first blush, you'd be like, what is the point of this? The point of this is you can squeeze down and get all the air out through the valve, and then you close it up and you've just helped compress it. And when you've got a couple of these and the straps are sort of maxed out in terms of their length, like compressing the bags down really makes a difference to getting those straps around and keeping it in tight so that you still got access to your lids, right? So love this. Next thing, the Cactus Canteen. This is by far and without doubt the best water storage device that we have ever encountered. I mean, we've tried them all. This thing is just bomb-proof, okay? It's easy to tie down. You get your straps through it. You put water in, so through the top here, a really big sort of wide mouth, opening there. The other side has a zipper, okay? And that's where the spout comes out. And then the spout, I mean, you can get your drinking water right there. You do what you want to do. We also have a connector so that we can use it as a shower. And we use it as a shower. So it is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I couldn't be happier with this. It's like when you've been looking and looking and then you've found. So that's what we're doing here. Last but not least, we've got the tank bag, okay? So let's get the helmet out of the way here. And we'll put that here. That's always kind of dangerous to balance it. But yes, it is a full mess here. But this is actually a sort of super cool element to this. It turns out, so this is the Diablo tank bag. It sits right up here nicely. It's not too tall. Something like 3 to 4 liters, I think, is what this gives you. Enough to be organized and to fit what you need in there without sort of having a bottomless pit and a black hole of stuff that gets lost. Jessica. And then the other cool thing is that sort of the way it just sits on the Tiger, at least, is you can kind of open it up and you've got like a full, let's call it a nightstand here. Maybe it's almost a coffee table. And so I've got things charging, I've got things plugged in, I can make, get things organized. I got the spot device in here that's keeping track of where we are. And it just sits here beautifully. When you need to fill up, you just sort of unzip it like about halfway, flop it over to the side, and you've got access to your fuel tank. And that's pretty much what we're doing for a GoRUFFLY Pilgrimage. As we sort of continue on with the around the world trip, we'll see what other luggage, we put in here. But this is how we're doing it. And it probably, is useful for me to just mention as a last but important point. Of course, we're using, panniers. We've got aluminum panniers here. These are the Triumph panniers that I believe are made by Givi. And work beautifully. They've got locks, they've got keys, and they've got a heck of a lot of space, actually. This is 37 liters on either side, and it's actually something that I've been really happy with. So most of the adventure bikes have sort of one side that's bigger. That would be the side that doesn't have the exhaust, and then the exhaust side is smaller. That's how my previous bike was, and it was honestly a big bummer. One side was always just didn't feel like it had enough space. It was really cramped, right? And so it was a tricky sort of balancing act as well, because the two sides being different, one side could carry more, and so it could, and generally did, get a bit heavier. So what Triumph's done here, I think, is absolutely fantastic. Both sides are the same. Now, the rack is not even, okay? It is a little bit further out on the exhaust side, but I've been sort of spying this on Jess from behind as we ride, and it really is so subtle that it is hard to see. I mean, as she's riding by, as you're following behind her, it's not obvious that, like, you've got one pannier that's sticking out way farther, because it's not. It's a little bit. But it actually does look a lot better, I think, from behind, that both panniers are even, and it just looks like a much more balanced setup. So really happy with that, and that's our luggage setup for a GoRUFFLY Pilgrimage.